How's my hair looking?
It looks great.
You damn right it looks good. Billy Morris and Merle, the Billy and Merle Show.
That's
Welcome to the
right.
show. Tuesday night here. Man, good weather. Spring's around the corner. And we're here to talk all things fun, rock, sports, a little politics.
Calling
food,
people out.
Calling people out.
Got our redneck bunny in the background, Cletus.
Was that Cletus?
Yeah, he's missing some teeth. But how was
Just
your
like
weekend?
You'll be someday, right?
Maybe. How was your weekend, Bill?
My weekend was great. So the weekend was my wife, Leah, we bought her an electric dirt bike, and we went riding at Amherst. And
she got the best of the best, huh?
Oh, she got this Sur-Ron Light Bee. It's this like hardcore racing electric dirt bike that she can also ride on the road too. So she's going to ride it back and forth to work.
Is she already faster than Carl?
She's already faster than Carl.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Hey, by the way, we got the phone lines fixed tonight, and we've already tested it out. It's been working great, so now watch that we're live. It'll stop working. But anyways, call the show 216-435-5249, extension 713. It's at the bottom of the screen there.
So Merle is manning the phone calls. I'm watching the comments. So call into the show, but comment for us so I can read the comments. And we got 4 listeners. That's pretty
Already?
cool. That's pretty cool.
Nice. All right.
So how was your weekend? Did you umpire any baseball games?
No, I didn't get to. It rained out. But, like on Sunday it was pretty nice, but they went ahead and canceled the game early because one of the schools on the coming up was like 3.5 hours away. And they're JUCO schools, they're junior college schools.
You call it junior college JUCO?
That's what they call it, JUCO.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, JUCO. And
JUCO.
Yep, JUCO. And so
it's like economy college. So you send your kids to an economy college.
Yeah, but see, but now the difference is, here's what's messed up is Division III softball, well, any sport, you cannot give a kid a full scholarship. But JUCO, they can offer that.
Okay.
It's weird. But anyways,
is there like Ohio State softball?
No, that's the NCAA.
Softball is for JUCO colleges.
Yeah, well, no, that it's Division I,
Not
2, 3.
quite good enough.
No, there's some pretty good teams, and that's where some of the girls go.
Just not quite that good.
Some of the girls go to like JUCO, and then they, with this new NIL deal stuff, if they're good enough, these coaches bring them up. But speaking of JUCO, I wanted to say congratulations to one of our past guests, Isaiah Smith. He accepted a full scholarship down at Daytona Elite Academy.
Nice. All right.
Free college and on the beach. And, of course, I told him to go to
the Monument.
The Monument.
Well, we're
going
to go visit him next year. All right? Because now Penton is old enough to travel and race the GNCC.
Yeah.
Can you take a week off and
let's
go down to Florida again?
Can
we talk about the last time we tried to go down to Florida together again?
No, we can't talk about that. But that was a bad situation.
It was a bad situation.
I had a family emergency, had to fly back.
And this is how we got to know and really interact and become tight with Mr. John Penton.
Yeah.
The famous motocross off-road icon that I named my son after. We kept going out to Daytona every spring break for Daytona Bike Week / GNCC off-road motocross racing, and John absolutely loved Merle.
Yeah, it was a good time.
But when John got a little too old to do the road, we still kept going down,
Yeah, we still kept going and having a good time.
And the last time we went down, you had to cut your trip short, and we'll leave it at that.
Had a family
emergency. But I haven't gone back since then because the vacation, the family planned the vacation around the dirt bike race.
Right,
and
I remember
as
that.
the kids, more kids came along, the kids got a little more, then the dirt bike race became secondary to the family vacation. But here's what I'm going to make an announcement right now, is that we're going down Sunday, no motorcycle race, another family vacation, but this year will be the last year that we're going down not around a motorcycle race.
Okay. So from now on, you'll be going around the motorcycle racing.
Absolutely,
dude. That was the best part. Was like going to the hanging out with the family, going to the motorcycle race, and then coming back and hanging out for the rest of the week and healing up those bruises you got.
Keep talking. I clicked something.
There
we are.
So anyways, this weekend I just kind of laid around and Keith is a big wrestling fan. I'm a big wrestling fan, so we watched WrestleMania. Probably
Carl's watching.
Carl. But, dude, I tell you what, I know you're not into wrestling, but for all the wrestling fans out there watching. Mike Martini. You were there.
Yeah, you were there.
But I tell you what, like, for all the people out there who are wrestling fans, it was probably the best WrestleMania I've watched in 15 years. Just the production, everything, it was great. I know it's scripted, but, dude, it was great. It was.
What night is wrestling on? Sunday nights or?
Well, they used to do Sunday nights, but they started doing pay-per-views on Saturday nights, and they realized that like the crowd's more into it because the thing lasts from like 8 to 11. So they're like, oh, well, more people are watching because it's a Saturday night. They don't have to go to work, so they started moving it. But WrestleMania is so big that, and that kind of ties into one of the things we were talking about with the Brown Stadium, you know, but WrestleMania is so big that they have to put it into 2 nights. And Triple H, he's a former wrestler. Now he's the COO.
Because he married Jim McMahon's daughter.
Yeah, but...
Good move.
Yeah, but it was a good move.
First off, good move. Rich.
Yeah.
She's deliciously hot. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Deb. But no, like, you know...
By the way,
he's
hot.
done a great job. Thank you.
Your wife's hot.
Thank you.
You out-kicked your coverage.
You're right about that. But no, he's done a great job, but he was reading the numbers, and between the 2 nights, they had over 161,000 people, and they grossed $22 million. That's a lot of money just for 2 nights in, you know, one stadium, and that's what me and you were talking about, how the Browns missed out on the opportunity with the dome, and I know that it's Cleveland football.
Okay,
and
so. All right, I guess we're going to open up the next chapter of this podcast by going into should the city of Cleveland build a dome for the Cleveland Browns and for other events?
Well, yes, but they've announced that like it didn't work out, so they're just going to dump a bunch of money into remodeling the stadium.
Everything's on the table still.
Yeah, it's still on the table, but I think so.
Okay, so my opinion, and we've talked about this, is that if the Browns or the city of Cleveland build a domed stadium, we might get 1 Super Bowl. But I don't think we'll get a Super Bowl because A, the bottom line is Super Bowls don't go to cold weather cities. B, answer me this. Do you know if we even have the hotel space to occupy or, get enough people in for the Super Bowl?
I think so because
and number
you got
3, the bottom line is, does the NFL even like the Browns?
That is a good question. The NFL, Roger Goodell, I don't think he likes the Browns very much. But we do have the hotels. I mean, there's some really nice hotels downtown, and there's some hotels that are not so far outside of downtown. But the biggest thing that me and you were talking about where they dropped the ball, even without the Super Bowl talk, is all the live events that you can bring in there. You know, you can bring in WrestleMania, which is 80,000 people a night.
Why can't we do WrestleMania at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse? Not big enough.
No, because for the longest time now, like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, those are like 2 of the biggest events WWE has, and now they're in stadiums.
Like smaller events? Because I took my brother.
They take like the Q and stuff like that. But that's for like Monday Night Raw and
why don't we ever
SmackDown.
get that? Do we ever get that?
Yeah.
When was the last time we had that? I don't even know. I took my little brother.
They're coming June 19th.
June 19th, once a year.
Well, no, they come like 2 or 3 times a year.
Dome.
They
once a year.
No, they come. They come to like Cleveland like 2 or 3 times a year, and they do a lot of live shows, which is not on the air. They just call it WWE Live. You just go see them live, and they do a lot of shows there. So they probably come together, TV and off the air, probably about 5 or 6 times a year.
So where are they building this dome?
That's a good question.
You don't even look into that?
I would say outside the city.
Dude, look at those arms.
I'm getting there. I say build it outside the city, maybe right outside the city somewhere.
Well, I heard other people talking on the radio about Burke Lake Front Airport.
That would be the perfect place. But I heard that guy doesn't want to give up the land.
Give right next to the stadium, still play in the stadium for like 2 or 3 years because it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Or tear the stadium down and play all of the football games at Finney Stadium at Baldwin Wallace.
Oh, my God.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I know. Right. That was a good one. There you go. We got limited tickets. 1,200 people tonight. No, I agree. They could build it right over there, right off the lake where the airport is. I mean, I hate to call it useless, but I mean, it really.
Or on, I thought off of Brook Park Road where all the old auto plants are. Seriously.
Yeah.
Brook Park Road, where they're tearing down all those auto building
Yeah, you
plants.
can build it right in the middle of a small town. Remember, we went to Green Bay.
Why would we even need auto building plants when they're going to go to electric cars?
Right, exactly. That's what. But I mean, yeah, like seriously, that was a good point where you could, go there or, build it right on, where the airport is.
Or we could not do anything and the Browns could move.
Don't say that because don't give them any ideas, dude. But, like I said, not only about WrestleMania, but you're missing out on Supercross. You're missing out on multiple big time concerts coming.
Supercross.
Yeah, Supercross brings a lot of people.
Who could play at a stadium? Here we go.
We got our first caller of the day, and it's our good friend, Carl.
Hello.
Hey, Carl.
What's going on, my friends?
Not much. How are you?
We'd like to welcome to the show. So whenever Merle and I talk about our trips down to Daytona with Mr. John Penton, actually Merle was the third wheel. It was me and Carl.
Right.
And we allowed you to go with us. And Carl, he was the original Mullet Brothers.
Yeah. I never had a mullet.
The original mullet. And I never had a mullet either, so I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
Mullet Bob is the original
Mullet Bob originated the mullet, and we all became the Mullet Brothers.
Mullet
So, Carl, you're calling us from Florida, but you got a cush job.
Actually, I'm calling you.
From
well,
where?
Actually, I'm calling you from New Mexico.
New Mexico.
So
Carl lives in Florida now, but you work for Team Suzuki right now, right?
Well, I work with them. I do their shows with them. So right now we're doing NHRA and we're doing some shows with the HEP motorcycle team, the Dustin Pikes team out there. So I was just calling to give you kind of a race report on what's going on in the world of drag racing for bikes and what's going on with our HEP teams. So
let's go.
First off, So we sponsor a couple teams, not we as in me, but Suzuki sponsors a couple teams in NHRA, one of them being Vance and Hines. And the other one, last year's season winner was Matt Smith on a Denso bike. And we picked up Matt Smith this year under a Suzuki sponsorship. So he's riding, under the Suzuki flag. He was riding with Buell.
Let's be clear. It's Matt Smith, not Scott Smith.
Yeah, Matt Smith, not Scott Smith.
Hey, Carl's been driving all
so
day.
He was riding. Yeah, so he was riding Buell last year, and you remember, actually, Billy, we sat with Eric Buell.
We did
at one of the Daytona. Yeah, he was at our table.
Yeah,
I don't remember what year that was, but yeah, so he was riding on one of his
Carl,
engines last year.
Carl, who was the general or the big guy you took a picture with?
Oh, General Stan Simpson.
General Stan Simpson.
That's a great name.
I was so envious. Carl got to take a picture with General Stan Simpson. And he came to the AMA Awards breakfast with Buell, right? And that was at Daytona Speedway.
Yeah.
And that was that great time.
Yeah, it was the day that John Penn got the cover of the AMA magazine.
Yep.
That was that. He didn't know that he was getting it, and that was when they awarded it to him.
So the funniest thing is that
cool.
The funniest thing is that like Carl and I, when we would go dirt bike racing every Sunday from March to December, we always had a Ford van. Many Ford vans that we would duct tape together to get to the races, and we decided to drive this old 89 white Ford van. I love that van, Carl. That van was sweet. We drove it down to Florida with John Penton, and we literally, with the dragging a trailer with dirt bikes behind it, we literally drove it to Daytona Speedway, and there's a tunnel under the track.
Yeah.
So as the cars are flying around the track at 200 miles an hour, people are driving in and out of that place, and we drove that. We called it the mullet hauler.
The mullet.
The mullet hauler.
And we got to go into a very prestigious event. General Stan Simpson, Eric Buell, John Penton, a bunch of other famous people, and we got to eat breakfast with those
Chris
people.
Carr, the fastest. It was Chris Carr. He was the fastest man on the planet doing that red rocket out in the salt flats. And it was Leslie.
That broad.
Leslie.
Oh, you can't call girls broads?
She was the fastest woman. She was the fastest woman on the planet.
Yeah, and
So,
I have that poster.
Cool
I have that poster autographed back at Mumsy's house.
Mumsy's house.
But that was pretty cool. Me and you,
so
Carl, I got to dig up that picture. Me and you took a picture on Victory. What do you call it? Victory Lane?
Yeah. Victory Lane. Yeah. So getting back to NHRA, we already had one race this season. That was at Gator Nationals. Vance and Hines acquired a new rider. His name's Gage Herrera. He replaced Angel Sampley, which was the most winningest female in pro stock motorcycle racing. So she won, I think, 48 events or something like that. She actually left the Vance and Hines team, and she's going to be the ambassador for Mission Food. So she's going to be doing announcing and stuff like that. But the first race, Gage Herrera, his rookie career came out swinging, and he had the fastest qualifying, and he won the race. So he got a Wally his first time out.
And what kind of bike was he on?
He was on a Suzuki. He was on the Hayabusa with the new Hayabusa body.
Congratulations.
The Generation 3 Hayabusa body.
Good job.
Yeah, so it was pretty badass. Then the reason I'm in New Mexico right now is I'm just coming back from Tulare, California, where this weekend we had a Suzuki Army event with the HEP Twisted T motorcycle team out there. And what we did is we went out to DT1, an MX track out there. And if you're a Suzuki owner, just like the Penton Owners Group, there's Suzuki Owners Group. If you have a Suzuki, you brought it out. Suzuki paid for your track entrance fee. You had a whole day with the race team. I think there were 3 riders from the HEP race team out there, like Dylan, and I think McElrath was out there, and Roxon's mechanic was out there. All the mechanics were out there, and you actually got to stand there and talk with Roxon's mechanic, show him your bike, say what he was checking the sag on everybody's bike,
That's
so
awesome.
Carl, did you go ahead, keep going.
Go on.
Did you get a Suzuki?
I was just going to say it was really interesting. Well, did I get a Suzuki?
Yeah, you said, look at my new bike. Is that yours?
No, that was Roxon's bike.
That was Roxon's bike. All right. I thought they awarded you like, hey, you should get off those orange bikes and ride yellow.
Yeah, well, I can. A funny story, and I don't want to drag on too long, but when we were out there at Gator National, I was sitting there with the president of Suzuki, the vice president of Suzuki, the vice president of sales. All the cheeses were underneath the tent. And I put up the Indianapolis race of Ken Roxon.
Yeah.
And we watched the race. And at the end of the race, when Roxon got up like towards the podium, and he held up that Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Haga, the president of Suzuki, was pointing at the screen. He's from Japan. He goes, "Oh my gosh!"
That's
holding
huge.
up the Kickstarter. He was laughing at it. It was huge, man.
That's huge, man.
Yeah. So.
Well, Carl, you
yeah, we had a good weekend. Yeah.
You definitely deserve where you're at, man.
Absolutely. Carl's worked hard.
Yeah.
He's definitely got where he belongs.
Now, the final question, Carl. What did you eat for dinner tonight?
Shoot.
What did you eat for dinner? What are you going to eat for dinner tonight?
Tonight, and I was thinking of Merle the whole time I was doing it. I went into Taco Bell and I got some soft shell tacos with fire sauce.
Oh my God.
And I started putting like 2 packs of fire sauce on my soft shell taco.
All right,
and
Carl.
I was like, I remembered that day.
All right, so we came out of, was it lightning? It was lightning.
Lightning, yeah.
Yeah. So Carl, stay on the line. We'll talk about this. So if you know us, we always do these videos, and Carl would post them on YouTube.
The Wide Earth of Sports.
The Wide Earth of Sports. And we did, I don't know why we did a taco challenge with Merle to eat 10 soft tacos, right?
With 2 packs of fire sauce. And I'd already eaten today, so I needed a bathroom break.
So he started eating these tacos, and then like about 8 tacos in, he had to go to the bathroom, and I snuck in behind him, and I just took the camcorder. It's like a digital camcorder right over the thing. He's, oh, dude!
Right over the top. Right over the top.
Dude,
and that's on Facebook.
Yeah, but the crazy part is when I got back,
we had about 10 packs of Fire Inferno Diablo sauce all over there.
And it just shot straight up my nose, and I dropped the F-bomb, and you're like, dude, there's kids in here. it was great. Everybody was rolling laughing, but that was good times.
Carl Kuntz, we love you, man. You're a brother for life, man.
All right, man. I'll call next week and give you a report on what goes on.
Hey, Carl, one more thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Carl.
Click. Oh, that's an old outstanding joke we've always done. So you seen the phone lines work? Call. 216-435-5249, extension 713.
Diana
Call
Hill.
the show. Call us. Give us a call.
Diana Hill's listening. Diana Hill was my high school crush.
Yeah.
She was my sweetheart. I wasn't cool enough for her, but she was my high school crush.
Oh, there you go. Well, sometimes it works out for the best. You got a smoking hot wife.
I outkicked my coverage.
You outkicked your coverage too. So should we do the call out of the week right now?
All right. So every week we do a call out of the week.
Oh.
If you say something stupid or something that we don't agree with, we do the call out of the week, and Merle has the perfect call out of the week.
Well, my call out of the week goes to the Dean of Sports, Greg Brenda.
Greg Brenda. That's a flash from the past.
Yeah, a long past, because he still lives in it and he thinks he's relevant.
So I don't know, if you're from Cleveland, you listen to sports talk for the last 30 years, Greg Brenda, they call him the Dean of Sports. I enjoy the guy. I love listening to him. I actually met him a couple times.
Is he still on the radio?
I think he's on WTAM. Yeah, he's and before we have the call out, I back Greg Brenda, but I guess he said something that my cohort Merle doesn't really agree with. So have at it.
Well, for one, the first one I'm going to call him out on is you can be whatever you want. You can be liberal, Republican, whatever. But he's, one of those far left guys. And he literally tweeted online that if your parents have a gun or belong to the NRA, you should run away from home. How stupid is that to tell kids to run away from home? I mean, dude, that's in a fire under me. But going to the sports, Mr. Dean of Sports. So on May 28th, he called out Stephen Kwan because I guess he might have had like a bad game. And he said, oh, well, the story of Stephen Kwan lasted about 10 minutes. The next night, 5 RBIs, destroyed Seattle. And not a word, not even an apology. He retweeted somebody that said Stephen Kwan on fire tonight, but he didn't have enough guts to I could say so much more, but I'm going to be clean because we're on the air. But
why don't you reach out to Greg Brenda's publicist and see if you can get him to come on the show?
You don't have a publicist. Hey, Greg Brenda, if you're man enough, call in the show sometime.
Oh, there's a call out.
I'll call you out.
Shout out.
He ain't good enough to have a publicist. If you did a poll right now, half of Cleveland don't even know who that dude is.
I like him.
Well, I used to like him, but
who's the best radio host in town?
Ken Carman, bro. Ken Carman and Anthony Lima are the best show around.
You think?
I love those guys. I used to listen to Rizzo.
I think they're a pretty close second.
I don't know, man. They've dominated the mornings now for a while.
Until Rizzo comes on.
No, they still beat him even during that little time slot. But
I don't think so.
I think they do because they just won like the number one.
What, according to Cleveland.com?
Well, that's who listens to them.
No, dude, let me tell you how these stupid awards things go. Somebody from Cleveland.com or Scene.com or FreeTimes.com or IWriteThisMagazine.com decides, well, this is who I like. Dude, I'm telling you, Rizzo dominates the morning.
I don't think so.
Who's on TAM during Rizzo? You don't know because you don't listen.
Yeah, I don't listen.
And Carmen ends at what time?
Carmen comes on at 6 and ends at 10.
10.
So then Rizzo's got it till
9 to 1.
9 to 1, yeah. So they both do about the same time. It's just,
What I like about Rizzo, I've even warmed up to him.
I do like
Hammer.
Rizzo.
I like Hammer too. They're perfect.
Yeah, they are perfect for each other.
It's like good cop, bad cop.
Right.
But, they talk everything. I think that's what a radio show should be. Like what you and I do. We talk a little sports, a little comedy, a little politics. We get some guests coming in on the phone. But I just think that Tony Rizzo is the best sports guy in town.
I mean, I like Tony Rizzo, but his
dad was a sportscaster, and he's got it in his genes, just like my dad was a guitar player, which makes me the best guitar player in town.
Right, but I don't know. You are. That's true. But I don't know. Over the years, I've really enjoyed Ken Carman, and I think he does a great job. And now he's on Fox 8.
Oh, dude, but Ken Carman is awesome.
Yeah,
I like Lima too.
Yeah,
but I like that other guy at night, the Anthony Fox. No, Ken Fox. Fox. What's the Fox?
Dustin Fox.
Dustin Fox.
Yeah,
like
Dustin Fox
too.
is pretty good. But I really don't listen that time slot.
Why is it that you graduated from the Ohio Center of Broadcasting and you're not on a radio station? You've been saving your talents for this show for like the last 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. I need to be on the radio. So if you're out there listening, you want to put me on the air or sign a petition, let's start a riot. Put me on the air.
Now let's go down to WKNR and peacefully use our peaceful protest and protest that Merle doesn't have his own radio show.
That's right.
How about Ken in Brooklyn?
I haven't heard him in a long time.
He's called me.
I haven't heard from Ken in Brooklyn in forever. So if Ken from Brooklyn, if you're listening, call in. That guy knows his basketball, man. He really does. Like, Ken Carman's awesome.
So what do you think about Bruce Drennan? I love you, Cleveland.
I love Bruce Drennan. I think he tells it like it is,
Let's change the subject. We're boring people with sports talk. Let's talk rock and roll.
Okay. All right.
This Friday night at the Grindstone Tap House in Berea on Front Street, formerly Scoundrels.
Yeah.
Yours truly, Billy Morris, will be wielding the guitar for Cleveland's Breakfast Club.
Oh, nice. A little reunion, huh?
Yeah, a little reunion. So,
Nice. I might come out to that.
I guess Dougie Licks, the new guitar player for Breakfast Club, which I guess we broke the story last week on our show.
Right, we did, yeah.
He's out of town, probably with the Ripper, playing some metal fest. Heavy metal. I believe you're the devil. So I'm playing with Breakfast Club. And then Saturday night, I'm like on the other side of Detroit for a private party. So,
okay.
And then Sunday, I get to go to Florida with my family for spring break.
Oh, very nice.
But,
so there's spring breaks this coming week.
Yeah.
My kids was last week. So
I just want to make mention of the past weekend. My band, Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip, we played at Spivak's Nautical Lanes in Avon Lake.
Oh, that place is so cool.
It is so cool. So Jimmy Spivak and crew, they take the middle 4 lanes. They put rubber mats, like diamond coat rubber mats down, and the band plays on the mats. Now, this is a 28-lane bowling alley, so the view is killer. And there's like the bar is right in, viewpoint of the stage. We bring a big sound system, a big light show, and everybody rocked and bowled. The kids were there. A lot of my friends were there. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It was so fun. And it's just one of those fun gigs where we just, at 8:30, we crack a Jenny Cream Ale and we play some rock and roll. And that's what it's all about.
And doesn't the VJ play the song that you're playing?
So like we'll go into, let's say, Round and Round by Rat. And the VJ is so good. He just goes to YouTube, click Round and Round, and they're playing Round and Round behind us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been on concerts and played with Stephen Piercy before.
Yeah, well,
not with him, but
I've played a few shows with him. But the years that I toured with Warrant and Rat, Jizzy Pearl was the lead singer of Rat.
Okay.
So I didn't really get to. But every time Stephen Piercy would come into town, I would open up for him, most of the time. I'll tell you a funny story. Oh, I hope my mom's not watching. But we're backstage at, what was that bowling alley in Parma? The Jigsaw.
The Jigsaw, yeah.
So Billy Morris opened for Stephen Piercy at the Jigsaw. And we're in the dressing room. He hands me this joint. And I'm like, I don't smoke pot, but it's Stephen Piercy. So I go, oh my God, it hit me so hard. It was crazy. But, I toked a joint.
You remember, like, whenever
Piercy.
he got ready to come out, he opened up the doors like Cheech and Chong.
Total Cheech and Chong, yeah.
Dude, I got a good story about, pot. So this was back whenever LA Guns played at formerly the Hi-Fi. And what's the lead singer's name now?
Phil Lewis.
Phil Lewis, yeah. So, they got a rider. So if any of you don't know what a rider is like what they want. Like they want pop, they want whatever, food, what they want in their dressing room. So, Billy taught me well. He's like, dude, treat these guys. They're rock stars. Treat them like that. Give them whatever they need. So Phil Lewis walks in. I'm like, hey, Phil, I'm the manager here or whatever. And Billy told me to get the rider for you. What do you need? He's like, dude, all we need right now
is perfect accent.
He's like, dude, we just need a 12-pack of Coca-Cola, some Red Bull, a case of beer, and a little bit of food. And I'm like, is that it? Because normally they ask for it. He's like, yeah, how about a big bag of weed? So we had this sound guy, which I'm not going to say his name, but he had plenty of pot. And he gives me some.
Little Bob?
No, it wasn't Little Bob. But the bag was like this big, bro, because he thought it was cool that a rock star was going to smoke his pot. So he's like, but hey, listen, that's some strong stuff. And you could smell it, dude. Like, you could smell it in his pocket. That's how strong it was. So I walk over and I'm like, Phil, here's some weed. And he's like, dude, now that's a bag of weed. And then I was like, yeah, but listen, be careful. And he's like, dude, I've been smoking weed since you were in diapers. I think I got this. So I go back to pick them up, and here comes Phil Lewis, like, and he's like, dude, he's like, I'm like, you okay? He's like, no, give me some Red Bulls. He's like, that's what I call wheelchair weed. You take 2 hits and you're on the ground. Dude, he came back to the room and he pounded like 4 Red Bulls so he could go on stage. That was a great time. That was one of the great moments we had at the Hi-Fi.
Oh yeah,
dude,
we had a lot of good moments.
A lot of good times, man. Being on the road together, dude. I'm telling you, man, we had the best time ever.
How about the time when I bought a camper? I bought a motorhome, and Merle and I left Cleveland. We bought this motorhome, and it was rotted out because you have to watch your motorhomes because the ceilings will leak with the water and it all. But it ran great.
Yeah, that thing ran like a top.
And we had to drive down to Georgia to pick up what is the Smoke and Rock and Roll ice cream trailer.
Yeah.
We hooked up the trailer. We had my motorcycle in the motorhome.
Yeah.
Went straight to Walmart, bought eye hooks and ties, put the motorcycle in the trailer and dragged it down to the GNCC.
Yeah.
And then raced.
And then we went and did the family vacation.
Went to family vacation.
So, like...
Oh, do you remember that time? The belly flop contest?
The belly flop contest, dude. We had a belly flop contest at the hotel. So I would come hang out with them at night. But, like...
So if you're going to have a belly flop contest, who would you want to enter? And he won it. And they're like, all right, the prize is pick your beer. They had like this bucket of like imported beers that had been in the back room. They were warm. Right. Here, have a beer.
I take one. I'm like, oh. But dude, the best part was because like I let you have your family time, and I always went and did my thing because I was always out.
Oh, that's right. Did you stay at Walmart or something one night?
Yeah, in the RV. But the best part was Ian Smith was down there and Jimmy. And, dude, we took that thing everywhere. We were, like, hanging outside of a strip club. With
the RV and the trailer?
With the RV and the trailer. No, I think the trailer we parked at the hotel and locked it up. But, no, we were parking the RV, like, outside of a strip club. And I don't know why we did that.
It was the most hillbilly looking
Exactly.
thing.
That thing was
So I bought the RV, used it for the trip down there, towed the trailer back, pulled the generator out, and sold it for what I put into it. So it was just like a perfect thing.
Yeah, it was perfect. Great time, great trip.
So
great memories.
I guess we're gonna move to the food segment here.
Oh man!
And since it's Easter, and we always like to talk about festive food that goes on with the holidays, Merle brought one of his favorite Easter foods, and we're gonna try him. Well, you're gonna try him out right now. Peeps.
I got to give credit to my wife, Deborah. My wife, Deborah, had this idea. She's like, why don't you try these? And I was like, these things look awful. And she's like, that's why you should try them.
I love Peeps, but I can't eat them. I'll open them for you. I can't eat the Peeps because I'm on a fast right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, dude, I tell you what. Yeah, open them and I'll eat them.
But you know what? Here is 5 Peeps for you. Oh. And let's throw 5 Peeps over for Sean and Daniel.
Yeah, they can try it.
Sean, I do not want to hear one word. Those are vegan. Let's see. Fruit punch vegan. All right.
Yeah, they're Peeps.
Our producer, Sean, who has a microphone, which he could... What's that? They're little ducks, but they're just... Oh, Daniel's going right... Go, Daniel. Go. Go.
These are...
So the first one you're going to eat are Fruit Punch Peeps. Try it out. Pretty good, huh? They smell like fruit punch.
They smell like fruit punch. They taste a little fruity.
Daniel, what do you think? Daniel gives a thumbs up.
Ooh, a little sweet at the end there. Ooh.
This is the best people I ever had.
So if you don't know, producer Sean, he's a vegan. Do you identify as vegan or is there a separate?
Identify as vegan. Oh my god. You're a vegan.
Was that a good peep?
It was the best people I ever had.
All right, we're gonna move on to party cake vegan. Party
this
cake
is like the
peeps.
birthday cake. These things are hard to open, man.
Not for me.
Might be for
Here we go.
my
This
fat
is a birthday
fingers.
cake, party cake peep.
All right, we're gonna try this.
Ooh, God, that smells good.
Wow, I still have the aftertaste of the
Of the fruit
fruit
punch.
punch. Woo.
Yeah, those smell good. I love birthday cake.
It's the same thing.
I mean, if you were to
That
take
tastes like a
one
birthday
little
cake.
bite of egg, you'd lose your mind. There's no way there's eggs in those things. It's so processed and artificially flavored.
Right. Everything's artificial now. This tastes like
We're
birthday
good.
cake.
We got a thumbs up from the vegan.
That tastes like birthday cake.
What do you think, Daniel? Grab the mic.
Yeah.
You could talk on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like frosting.
Yeah.
Tastes like frosting. Yeah.
Right. These guys over here are loving it. We're giving them snacks.
All right, now
Now,
we're
don't
going
mention this.
way
They're
out.
the best people I ever had.
Oh my God.
Now
dude.
we're gonna surprise you guys with these next peeps.
Now, you guys call in the show while we're doing this. 216-435-5249, extension 713.
We just got a comment from Bubba, King Bubba.
Bubba. Love Bubba. Dude, Bubba's doing some good things down in Barberton. He's got that Bar 7. He's going to have steak night. And, dude, it's prime.
We are
steak.
going to get King Bubba up here because if Bubba and I actually sat down, we could talk for more than an hour.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now this surprise peep. There's no eggs or anything in the peeps. It's
You've
all
read the
sugar.
other ones. All right, now try this one
These are
out.
surprise peeps. Daniel, go first. They're like fruit punch. Tell me
Yeah.
what you think. You can't smell it. Just eat it.
What is
What
it?
is it? Hot tamale peeps.
Now that's a hot tamale.
That's pretty fun, right? Damn.
It's got a little bit of kick to it somewhat. But
So just let me tell you where my podcast career has come from. I used to do a podcast with my partner Todd from Smokin' Rock and Roll. We'd bring on gourmet food. We'd bring the best of the best sauces and the best food and the best pizza and then his wife would bring out the shot of the week. It was the best shot. She was called the shot caller. And now
we're eating peeps.
I'm with a big fat hillbilly eating peeps.
It's Easter, y'all.
What happened to my career?
Right. Oh, man, that was pretty good, though. Then I was not disappointed. I thought I'd be disappointed, but they taste pretty good.
All right, so we're up to 19 viewers, man.
Hey, there you go.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I was going to tell you this week, like, Facebook sends me the notifications, and we had like 798 views this week.
Very good. So where are our sponsors? I need to start making money on it.
That's what I was going to get to. So every show needs sponsors. We could put them right here in the background for you as well, too. I mean, every show.
We usually put Easter eggs or outhouses. Or,
Yeah, but we'd love to put your name right here where Cletus is. But no, if
So
you
reach out to Merle.
yeah,
on the Billy
reach
and
out
Merle
to me
Show
and
page.
we'll get you sponsorship. And we'll talk, some money, and we'll give you a good price.
Also, could you set someone up for their own podcast?
Yeah, that's also, we can set you up for your own podcast. So I said that on my video this week. If you guys want to do what we do, we have a blast doing this. You get to pick whatever you want, make it funny, make it serious, whatever you want to talk about. And, you could come do this at whatever night you want, and it's a blast. You get to see Audio Bay Studios. You get to see the podcast room. You get to see Smokin' Rock and
I will
Roll
tell you
behind the
this.
scenes.
I mean, it's just starting food truck season, but
Yeah.
pretty soon we're going to be doing the podcast while I'm smoking the food. It's going to be all smelling like brisket and pork in here. It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
If you want to be a special guest on our show, give Merle a little message on our page. You can come down and talk with us on the show. If you want to sit in on the studio and just sit on the couch and watch the show,
we have
friendly.
A casting couch right over
Casting
here.
couch.
Our guys were eating the peeps, so they were busy.
So, Billy and Merle Show every Tuesday night here at Audio Bay. We've had a great show so far. What do you want to end on? How about the Guardians?
The Guardians are 4-1 now. They're playing great baseball. The pitching's been off a little bit, but I mean,
usually is, isn't it? The first couple.
Well,
weeks?
that's what I was saying. Is like the Indians usually start off rough every year. Historically, they start off rough every year.
Nobody thought that the bats were going to come alive.
Exactly. Like last night, they were down 6-2 and battled back and won 12-11 in the 10th inning.
So Guardians baseball is starting, and we're getting in a playoff season for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cavs just won tonight.
They won tonight, so did they wrap up home court advantage?
Yeah,
in the first
they wrapped
round?
up the 4 seed. They're not going to get the 3 seed.
Are you at all worried about the Knicks?
Yeah, they just whipped our butts the other night. They're good. The Knicks are one of the hottest teams in basketball. I mean, but we just got to play team basketball. It just seems like sometimes the Cavaliers
they lose interest.
Well, yeah, they lose interest, or they just they go away with what's working.
So what would be a disappointment
if they got beat in the first round?
Yeah.
I think if they got, even though the Knicks are pretty good, if you battle that hard to get home court advantage and you lose in the first round, it's like, what made all these moves for nothing.
If we lose in the first round and we're disappointed, does the coach get fired? Or does he get another year?
I think he gets fired. I do. If he can't lead a team that's better this year than was last year, if you can't get out of the first round with home court advantage, I mean,
who would they hire? Who would you hire if you were the owner of the Cavs and you had to fire the coach? Who would you hire?
Man, I don't watch much NBA anymore, but
I know who I'd hire.
Who's that?
Tony Rizzo.
Oh my God! I mean, I don't know, man. I wouldn't even know where to go. I'm not a big NBA fan.
I've got family that are into the Cavaliers, and my brother is a season ticket holder for the Cavaliers, and I enjoy when I get to go to the games with my brother and my little boys, and I enjoy it. But I am not a basketball fan. I've always said that I have enough emotion for one Cleveland sports team.
That's the Browns.
And that's the Cleveland Browns. Diehard Browns fan for my whole life, and they just suck the emotion out of me. So
yeah,
I'll watch the playoff basketball,
but it's like,
and if they win,
they win.
Indians, and I can't get into the Guardians still. I can't get into the Guardians. I'm sorry, that's just me. If you accept the Guardians, that's you. I just don't like the fact that all that history, especially since we named the team the Indians after a.
We got a phone call.
Let's take it.
We got Karen Pingle calling.
That's Pete.
Oh, it's Pete. What's up, Pete?
Pete Pingle on the line. What's up, Pete?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Love the new show.
Thank you.
Right on, man.
Where are you calling from, Pete?
Dover, Ohio.
Dover, Ohio. I'll actually be down that way here soon doing some.
We passed through Dover on the way to Lightning.
Oh yeah, but I'll be down there doing some softball, some college down there.
Oh, nice.
I forget what college it is, but.
It's a junior college that's not quite good enough.
Oh my God! I'm not calling these colleges out. They're my employers.
Right.
What's going on, Pete? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about, Pete?
Well, I'm like Merle. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, so I watch WrestleMania all weekend.
Yeah, man.
But I'm going to be coming up.
What's that going?
I'm going to be coming up your way.
Oh yeah.
Probably next weekend.
Okay.
I'm a competitive bodybuilder.
Oh, very nice.
What a coincidence.
I do some training up your I do some training up your way. Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Where's your studios at?
Bay Village.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're right at the Clegg Road exit off of Interstate 90. And if you well, actually, Merle, you need a co-host next week because I'm going to be out of town.
Yeah.
Pete, you want to be the co-host and do a wrestling show at Merle?
You can even call in.
Work, I will.
You can even call in.
Call in. We'll do a wrestling segment with Pete.
So Pete,
Absolutely.
Pete, talking about the wrestling situation, you know that this WrestleMania was probably the best WrestleMania I've seen in a long time. And the cool thing is I gave it a 9.5, and the reason why is because the John Cena match, that was kind of boring, kind of vanilla, plus like you knew he was going to lose. You knew they were pushing Austin Theory. And then the women's showcase match was, I actually got up and walked away. But I do like what they did with Cody on WrestleMania night, because I felt like, that's kind of, like Roman Reigns has been a champion for over 900 days. How are you going to have him, you know what I mean? How are you going to have him come in and just lose it to the guy the first time? But what was really disappointing was last night, and according to my sources at Pro Wrestling Insider, they said that Vince McMahon ran that show last night, and you could tell a big difference between what Triple H has been doing and what Vince McMahon did.
Oh, absolutely. That had Vince McMahon all over it. I mean, I was talking to a guy that was there.
Judy!
They said that they was doing all kinds of rewrites even while the show was going on.
He changed the script, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, by the way, at the end of the night, Brock Lesnar is going to attack Cody Rhodes. I mean, that makes zero sense. That makes zero sense.
Guess what? You guys are talking about it, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but it's kind of like...
Wait a minute. Wait. Stop, Pete. Hold on. You're going to tell me you can write a better script and run that wrestling association better than...
Absolutely. And there's probably 1,000 fans out there that could write it better than Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon's the owner.
He's lost it, though, man.
Really?
So, see, what happened is Vince McMahon had a scandal where he used money to pay off,
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Inappropriate behavior with
inappropriate
strippers?
behavior. So they kind of they were like pretty much like, you're done, dude. So this past week, though, they sold the WWE to Endeavor, which owns UFC and now WWE. They own the rights to it. And they gave Vince McMahon $9.3 billion. But now, he's back in the...
As part of a fighter or character?
Yeah, no, he's back in the main seat. He runs the show again.
Really?
He wasn't running it before. They took his power away and gave it to Triple H. So he gets
all the money and now he runs it.
Well,
That's great.
But he's very smart for this, because now they can't go back and say, well, let's keep looking into your scandal here, and you can't run things. But now it's like he's a genius, dude. He sold it, and the company gave him the power again. So now he's running it, and Triple H has been doing an amazing job with the storylines. And then all of a sudden, Vince comes back, and everybody, it's all people are talking about. Everybody knows it's back to crap. The problem is, though, is WWE was losing ratings whenever Vince ran. So this could hurt him.
I got to start watching this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead,
all
Pete.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Pete. Well, thanks for tuning in. I know you're a loyal listener and a caller, so we'll call you call in next week and help Merle out. I'll probably call in next week.
Okay.
But I'll be in Florida with my family.
Definitely call.
All right,
absolutely.
Pete. Thanks
we'll
for
have fun down there,
talking.
buddy.
You got it, brother. I'll see you real soon.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Later, my friend.
All right.
So as we wrap the show up, I want to thank Pete for calling.
Absolutely.
I see Judy Smith, Craig Smith's wife, is commenting in there. And Bubba is still there. Mullet Bob's brother, Jay Alimo, is there.
I love Mullet Bob. Love Jay. We always have some.
We're going to end
beers.
the show with a major announcement. Major announcement.
Oh, yeah. This is what I was talking about today.
Yeah. So luckily for myself, I was friends with a man named Janie Lane, and he made my rock and roll dreams come true.
Absolutely.
And he...
Remember, though, whenever he called you, he thought he wanted you to be the roadie.
Yeah, so the story is like this was back in the day of answering machines. And I had a little answering machine with a little cassette in it, and I listened to it. Hey, Billy, this is Janie. Give me a call. I want you to do guitars for Warrant. I forgot the story,
Yeah.
So I'm just like, delete. We're friends.
Right,
and,
we're friends,
I'm
but
like,
you don't want to.
I just got off the road with Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big. I'm not going to be a guitar roadie for Warrant. I don't want to do the guitars for Warrant. 2 weeks later, he calls me. He's like, dude, why didn't you call me back? I'm like, well, I don't want to be the roadie for Warren. kind of doing what I do. He's like, no, I want you to be the guitar player in Warrant. I'm
That's
like,
awesome. You probably almost fell to the floor.
I'm in, and the rest is history. So
Yeah.
every year or so, I do a tribute to the man, Janie Lane, and the songs that he wrote. And this year we're going to do it May 20th at the Masonic Temple Live, Masonic Live
Great
on
place.
Euclid downtown. And the special guest this year, well, there's two special guests. The opening band, there's an opening band called Medusa. They're an all-female band in Cleveland. And the middle band are my brothers from Los Angeles and my partner here at Smoke and Rock and Roll, Tough, Stevie Rochelle and Tough.
Oh, that's going to be a if
And
you
then,
get your tickets now, because they're going to be sold out.
Here's the cool part about the tickets. The tickets are $19.89. $19.89.
That's awesome.
The year Warrant's first record came out.
That's genius,
Yeah.
man. Who ever thinks of
Stevie
these things?
Rochelle.
Stevie thought of that?
Stevie thought of that.
That's awesome.
And then the big kicker this year is we've done this for a few years, but this year we're bringing in Bobby Brown, the Cherry Pie Girl, Janie's ex-wife, and Janie's daughter, Taylor, and maybe his other daughter, Madison, and definitely Eric Oswald. It's going to be a family reunion for the Oswald family, the Lane family. But if you want to get an autographed book from Bobby Brown or an autographed poster, a photo with her, she's going to be there. She's going to also be the night before. We're doing just a warm-up party at the local in Strongsville. So it'll be Tough, Billy Morris, and Bobby Brown at the local in Strongsville.
And she's got a great story right now on Metal Sludge.
Absolutely. And then the next day, we're going to do the whole Janie Lane show at the Masonic Temple, and we're going to honor the great songwriter, singer, and the guy that made my rock and roll dreams come true, and I'm proud to do it. And I just want to tell you, there is no guest list because after the expenses are paid, like the airline tickets and the hotels and the cost, all the money is going to Janie's daughters and his family.
And that's one thing. Well, first of all, let's end on two things. I don't know if you're allowed to tell the story about Uncle Tom's Cabin, how his brother went in and played.
We can tell. I've told that story. Yeah.
Tell the story about how that happened.
If you're a Janie Lane fan and you've heard the song Uncle Tom's Cabin, he wrote the song and he decided that it needed a acoustic intro, a real Delta blues, sloppy, muddy blues Delta swamp style guitar solo. So his brother is Eric Oswald is the perfect guitar player for that part. So he brings him in the studio, and the producer, Bo Hill, puts the mic up on the guitar and says, all right, just warm up, and I'm going to set some settings, and when you're all warmed up and you're ready to go, we'll record it. So he just starts playing, and they do a couple settings. All the while, Bo Hill, the producer, is running tape. And finally, he stops playing, and he goes, okay, I'm ready. He's like, you're done.
You got the perfect...
They got the take, and that was him just warming up.
Yeah.
And then go home or, take out your CD, listen to Uncle Tom's Cabin, and hear that acoustic intro. That was the warm-up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's how good he is.
Yeah,
So
he's
before the show, we're going to have Eric on as a special guest right in the middle of us. We're going to tell a bunch of Janie Lane stories. We'll have him perform live in the studio.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get a ticket to the Janie Lane tribute show at the Masonic Temple on May 20th, you can see him perform that song with me and a bunch of other fun stuff. And we play a bunch of Warrant songs when my band plays out. We do a couple different ones for the tribute, but whenever we get Eric up on stage and different guests and stuff, it's always Dave Brooks will probably be there. Listen, brah.
But hey, whenever you get Eric on, though, dude, the whole place loses their mind because they
he's
know how good he is.
Guitar player.
Yeah, he's
so
unique,
good.
and he can sing really good too. He's got an amazing voice.
So this Friday night, Billy Morris backing up Dave Brooks and the Breakfast Club at the Grindstone Tap House in Berea, formerly Scoundrels on Front Street. I will be out of town
Close to the airport.
Close to the airport. I'll be out of town Saturday for a private party, and then I leave for Florida with my family. So you can only see me this Friday night at the Grindstone Tap House with Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Cleveland's Breakfast
Club. Better not say Breakfast Club. Might get sued by...
The other Breakfast Club.
Right.
There are 44 other Breakfast Clubs.
Right. But the other thing I was going to talk about, because you mentioned the guest list. Dude, whenever I used to work at the Hi-Fi, that drove me nuts.
Here's my favorite thing. I'm here to support the band. I'm on the guest list.
Yeah, right. Billy Morris is my best friend.
I'm here to support him.
Let me in for free.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that drove me nuts. It's like,
I'm here to support the band. Can I get on the guest list? And by the way, can I have that T-shirt for free?
Right. And right. That's how I reacted. But my thing is like what's funny is these are national act bands like LA Guns and Scotty Hill from
Skid Row,
and
Bullet Boys,
and tickets were only $10, dude. And they're like, "Let me in for free." And I'll never forget this, dude. The one guy kept pushing his way in, and he pushed one of our girls, and I ended up having to throat punch him out the door.
You almost ripped his thorax out.
I almost beat his thorax out, bruh. He saved himself by falling.
You know what? You're right.
But that's disrespectful.
Yeah. And support bands. And by supporting bands, don't try to be getting a guest list. I mean,
because they don't know who you are. Trust me.
And also buy their merch or just go see the band and buy some drinks because the drinks is what pays for the bands locally. Like last Saturday, we played Spivaks.
Yeah.
And we played 8 to 11. And we tore down. And my wife and I sped out to Time Warp to catch Disco Inferno.
Yeah, great band.
And they ended at 12:30. We got to watch 2 or 3 songs, and we ordered some drinks.
Yeah.
And we got to talk to the band, and that's
supported
what it's all
your
about.
friends.
Supported our friends.
And spent money. But, like you opened up for Jackal. And Jackal had the merch, and people don't realize, like, whenever these bands are on tour, that merch is a big deal. Like, that helps out with the gas money. It helps out pay the band. Because in the business, there's some times where show doesn't turn out the way they thought it would be, and they have to negotiate. Okay, well, we're supposed to pay you $2,000. We're only going to pay you $1,300. And, that merch helps pay those
everything. It's
everything.
Part of it.
And it's part of it. So if you're out to a show and a ticket's like $10, $15, don't be asking. And even if it's $50, don't be asking on the guest list. Just go to the show, support your band that you're there to see, spend the money, and have a good time. Don't even worry about it. Because whenever you're dead and gone, you can't take it with you.
That's right. All right,
All
brother.
right, my friend. It was another great show. I'm going to miss you next week, but I know you have a much-needed vacation.
And you're going to carry the torch, huh?
I'll carry the torch.
The Billy and Merle Show minus
me
Billy.
and Cletus.
Well, getting a special guest.
Yeah.
Get Bubba.
Bring
Bubba up
Hey,
here.
Bubba, if you're listening, come on the show next week, and we'll talk about your great things coming up, and we'll talk about all of our fun times and what you got going on. Because Bubba's got a lot going on right now. It's really good.
We have to get brighter lights.
Yeah, Bubba likes to sit back. Anyways, we appreciate
I want Bubba to be on the show with me. We have a lot of good things to talk about.
Oh,
but Bubba, if you want to be a special guest next week and fill this seat, try to fill my shoes, it'll be the Bubba and Merle Show. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, my God, the Bubba and Merle Show. I like it.
All right,
I like
thanks
it for
tuning in. Billy Morris, Merle, Jeremy Dyer, The Live Wire.
I'm going to go eat my peeps.
Special producer, Studio Sean, with sidekick Daniel in the house. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday on the Billy and Merle Show.